Hello, I'm Ann Wizauer, Project Manager for HL7 International, and I'm here today to give you a detailed explanation of what is measured and why in the quarterly Workgroup Health metrics, as well as explain how to read the spreadsheet sent out by the headquarters to the co-chairs containing the metrics. HL7 began measuring Workgroup Health for a number of reasons. One was to ensure that our numerous workgroups maintain the transparency that is required of us to maintain our ANSI certification. Other reasons included the promotion of efficiency, the standardization of processes, and the ability to monitor the participation level and continued viability of the individual workgroups. The original metrics were developed by the Technical Steering Committee's Risk Assessment Subcommittee. And while that committee is no longer functioning, the work is continued today by the Technical Steering Committee. Workgroup Health spreadsheets are sent out twice per quarter, first as an interim report, which you can think of as a heads-up report, and then as a final report right before the working group meeting. I would encourage all of the workgroups to look really closely at the interim report when it comes out by email. The period between the interim report and the final report is time that you can use to clean up any infractions, such as out-of-date or unpublished documents, for example. And if you have any questions when you look at those reports, please never hesitate to contact me. Here on this first slide, here's my contact information, which is also available on the website. You can always email me at ann@hl7.org or call the office here at 734-677-7777. So please do look carefully at that interim report and use it to identify any gaps or clean up any infractions between the time of its release and the release of the final report, which is used to determine the healthiest work groups for the quarter. The most recent reports can be viewed on the TSC Wiki under Workgroup Health, and in a little bit I'll show you an easy way to get there on the website. Next, I want to show you what a Workgroup Health spreadsheet looks like and walk you through how to read it. You can see that each workgroup in the steering division has its own line on which the metrics are recorded. So here on line 4, all of the metrics for the application implementation and design workgroup are noted. The stars you see denote healthiest workgroups, or those that did not have any increments for that quarter. So if we take a look here at column D, these numbers represent the number of increments the workgroup received in this period, which this was the 2017 May report for the Foundation and Technology Steering Division. So if we look at column I, these are the number of active projects each workgroup has filed. Column J is whether or not the mission and charter has been updated in the previous 2 years. So anytime you see a gray box, that means an increment has been counted. So in this instance, these 3 work groups here with the gray boxes, I was not able to find an updated mission and charter past the dates listed here. Now, if you, on the interim report, see that your work group, for example, has 2012 listed as the last mission and charter that I could find, and you know, for example, that you did update it, you can always send it to me. We can get it posted, and I can update the date to reflect your actual most recent mission and charter. Column K reflects the date on which the most recent decision-making practice document I was able to find, and those must be updated every 3 years. So as long as the date is within 3 years, no increment is taken. This is the Project Health column. This number actually comes from a different document called the Pbs Metric Spreadsheet. The Pbs Metric Spreadsheet stands for Project, Ballot, and Standards Metrics. And those are compiled by Dave Hamill here at headquarters. And he puts out that spreadsheet at the same time that I put out the Workgroup Health spreadsheet. And the Project Health is represented here as an aggregate number of a variety of measures. And those include ballots requiring circulation, unpublished ballots, missing 3-year plan items in Project Insight, the percentage of Project Insight items with their next milestone behind more than 120 days. So all of those measures are combined to reflect a status on Pbs metrics. And those statuses are green, yellow, or red, depending on how many increments you have there. And if you're green or yellow on the Pbs metric spreadsheet, you receive an X in this box. And if your Pbs metric score is red, then you'll see a gray box that you've received an increment. So if you have a gray box on this Project Health column, you can contact me or Dave Hamill, which is even better, as he is intimately familiar with that spreadsheet, and we can help you walk through why your Project Health in Pbs metrics is what needs attention. Column M reflects whether or not the work group's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats document has been updated in the past 3 years. Column O reflects whether or not the work group has balloted material in this cycle or the previous 2 cycles. And this is the only column that if you receive an increment in this column and you haven't balloted, you can still receive healthiest work group. You'll still get a star if this is your only increment on this spreadsheet. Column Q reflects that you've posted minutes since the last working group meeting. If a work group has not posted minutes, it's an automatic red in Workgroup Health because minutes posting is extremely important for transparency purposes. Column R reflects that there has been list server activity since the last working group. Column T reflects that the work group participated in harmonization. And there are 2 ways to receive credit for harmonization participation. One is by attending the harmonization meeting. The other way is to have your work group review the items for harmonization, and if you don't have any input, you can satisfy the requirement by stating that in a message to the harmonization listserv. Column W reflects that the work group has scheduled conference calls for the period. If the other way to satisfy this requirement is by holding an out-of-cycle meeting, which must be approved by the TSC. Column Y reflects that the work group has been voting in the steering division e-votes. And to receive credit you must participate in more than 50% of those e-votes. Column Z reflects that your work group voted in the annual Technical Steering Committee election. That's a really important one because if you miss it, it sticks with you the whole year. So always make sure to vote in that election. This column, workgroup representation at steering division face-to-face meeting. The steering divisions currently meet Monday nights at the working group meetings. And this column reflects that your work group was represented at that meeting. This column, currently AF on this particular spreadsheet, notes that you have scheduled a work group meeting at the next upcoming working group meeting. These three columns all go together. They are the working group meeting co-chair tasks. This first column shows that your work group posted a draft agenda for the any upcoming working group meeting. There will be deadlines posted for each of these measures at the beginning of the quarter. And so this one shows that you posted your agenda on time. This one shows that you posted your minutes from the previous working group meeting on time. This one shows that you requested space at the upcoming meeting on time. As you can see, you get credit for these tasks if you complete at least 2 out of 3 of them. So that's the spreadsheet. Next, I would like to show you how to navigate to the Workgroup Health reports and also a grid explaining everything I just showed you. So if you go to the Resources tab of hl7.org and then navigate over to TSC Guidance, and click on it. About halfway down the page, you'll see Workgroup Information, and the first link here, Workgroup Health, is where you need to go. Here you can see each steering division's most recent report, and here as you scroll down, you can see an explanation of each column as I just told you, but here it is in writing if you would like to refer to it in the future. That's all I have today. Again, please contact me with any questions or concerns, and I'm happy to work with you on making your work group the healthiest it can be. Thank you.